It feels like in every step of the way, it feels like the old guard, the John Cena's of the world, the Rocks of the world, coming back and saying, "Oh, you guys want this Roman match?
Hmm.
Cheer me!" And then people are like, "No, no, no, we want Cody." And they're looking around like, "What do you mean? Him? That's what y'all want?"
Yep. Like I'm the Rock. You guys have been telling me for years to come back and do a match with Roman, and then I come back and you guys want Cody instead. Like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the way this played out, I thought it was good overall. Like I said, the crowd really elevated this segment into
Yeah.
something special because they played in, um, which kind of gets me to a question I wanted to ask last week and I forgot about it. Um, is there such thing as real heat in wrestling anymore?
No.
Because I feel like this worked because that crowd was willing to play along.
Yes. The crowd has to be involved, in tune. They play a role. Like it's like and like they write on I've seen wrestling scripts that is like crowd boos or crowd's gonna this is awesome or crowd's gonna blah blah blah. Like they are a part of the show now. And so that was my thing with this whole heel turn because I was like, there's gonna be a whole section of fans that are still gonna cheer Cena. There's gonna be people that are playing along essentially that don't I don't hate John Cena. Like I don't care that you did that to Cody Rhodes, but I like what this crowd, I like being involved in this the elements of booing you and then they talk about us on viral online and all the booze things. It's no real life. This is heat. I fucking hate this guy. We all know that this is a show, you know?
Yeah, I think it's tough to get real heat, and I think
It's so hard.
when people were comparing this to the Hogan turn and saying it was better, that was the one thing that I kept thinking like, no, it wasn't the same because Hogan got real heat. They were throwing trash in the ring at this guy. People were really mad. People
Guy
thought,
got in the ring.
yeah, people were really mad. People thought this was real. This was Hogan, a guy that some people only saw in one way their entire lives, and nah, this was different. People believed, and I don't think that this was that. I think people were willing to play along because
Right.
that's what this is at this point. We're in a time when fans know more about backstage happenings and they know more about the business than they ever. I mean, he in ring said, "I'm not a heel. I'm not a baby face. I'm a human being," and that's not something that could have went over as well 20 years ago.
No, he wouldn't have been able to say that line 20 years ago. So like that's
Yeah.
where we got into this place. Yeah, it's just such a different and I'm not even mad at it. Like it's WWE specifically has conditioned their fans to do like this is what they want. They're like, you become a part of the experience, you become a part of the promos, you become part of the stuff. So yeah, it's just so hard to get real heat. And then when people try to get real heat, they don't know how to do it and they go too far. So it's like I don't know what's anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there are examples where, people have gotten real heat. Like, I think, like, Ciampa during that NXT run where he turned heel, like, he got legit heat. He used to come out there without the theme music and get, like, booed, like, deafening boos. And
Like
we've
I
seen
think
it.
the funniest example was probably Dom Mysterio when people are still like, "Oh, he's the best heel in the business," but like now it's like he's not. Like the crowd's not giving him that heat because he's the baddest heel in the fucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he got heat based off of, like, the nepotism stuff and people
Mm-hmm.
thinking he's not as good of a wrestler in the spot that he's in. And then that turned into, it's fun to boo this guy, so let's
Right.
just keep it going. Um,
Exactly.
But yeah, real heat, it's hard to come by because we know too much at this point about the business. We know too much about who these people really are. I mean, some
Exactly.
people that are getting legitimately booed, it's not because of who they are as a character. Like, look at Tessa. Tessa's not getting booed because Tessa Blanchard, the character. She's getting booed because of Tessa Blanchard, the person
Right.
behind Tessa Blanchard.
And that's another element that's added in here. Is like we know so much about these people. Is we see people that are that succeed or win a championship, and then the comment is, "I never liked this fool, fuck this fool," because of what they did 5 years ago. Blah, you know what I mean? Like there's so
Yeah.
much connected to it that it's hard to be like, as characters, John Cena is really pissing me off. I hate this fool. Now, no, we all know which role we want to play in John Cena's character moving forward.
Yeah, and I don't even necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think the great thing
No.
about wrestling sometimes is when you do have the right audience like this Brussels crowd that understands the dynamic and plays their role. There's
Yeah.
nothing worse than the smarky fans that know and they're trying to co-opt it and change
Arm
the tide.
crossed and
No,
like, nah, don't. We want to hear people get loud. We want to hear the participation. I want to
yeah.
hear you do Adam Copeland's song. I want to hear you do Cena sucks. Let's go Cena chance. Like we want all those things. They make the show better.
Yes, wrestling relies so much on crowd participation, so it we need that aspect of it. But yeah, real heat is tough. It's tough to come by now.
Does anybody have it?
I think that MJF was a guy that could get real heat at times because he blurs that line of what is real and what is fake. But it's so hard to do that because people have gotten on him about,
Right.
oh, you're taking it too far. Like there's been incidents where he's done things and it's like, oh, I don't know if you should have done that.
And then he has to come on and be like, "You guys, it's a show," and then that takes away from it too. So there's so many elements that are like wrestling's hard to do these days. But real heat, that's like the John Cena thing was the real test. Like I want to see him back in America do this promo and how they react. Like seeing how different crowds like play into it. It's gonna be interesting going in. But everybody kind of understands, like I said, their role going into WrestleMania. So I expect a lot of kind of the same. But it's interesting. The real heat thing is an interesting conversation in itself, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you look. I mean, there's examples of it. Like you look at Blake Christian, he gets legitimate heat.
Yo, if y'all don't know
Blake
about
gets some
Blake
heat, bro.
Christian, dog, like if you haven't watched Ring of Honor or any indies, this guy is like real, like fuck this guy energy, like for reals. Like crowds hate this guy. He does get real heat.
Yeah, Don's another good example. Alexander John. Don does get really booed, and I mean that's why I'm like it's great when
Don.
you can get the right character that does get people to like really boo them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so tough now. And I mean, going into this heel turn, I was curious. Like, all right, this is John Cena. How much are people going to realistically boo him? He got he got really booed. That Brussels crowd gave it to him. And I mean, even at the Raw after Elimination Chamber when Cody came out and cut his promo, that crowd was booing him. So this could work.
Yeah, I thought like if I was to bet, would they be more cheers or boos coming out of this? I thought just because it's Cena, there's still going to be more cheers, but no, there's a lot of people booing this guy. It really helps with the spacing and timing of his promo of people being like, nah, fuck John Cena. Like, regardless if it's whatever it is, it still worked and it's still exactly hit like how it should.
Yeah. Of course, I saw some criticism of the promo. I don't think it was perfect. I think
I mean,
there were things left out of it. I've seen people say, well, he didn't tell anybody why he sided with Rock. He didn't really feel that story bit for people. But I think him telling people I don't owe you guys anything and I'm not going to give you anything was the answer. I don't owe you an explanation of why I sided with the Rock. I sided with the Rock because it's what I wanted to do. I'm tired of doing what you guys want me to do and you're just going to boo me anyway.
mm-hmm.